Hey, Earlene, we are live again in studio, and we've got a special guest because this is a special segment for...
It sure is. Twice in 1 week.
Yeah, that's... Who would have thought?
I know it.
You can't get enough of the Earlene and Steve show.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So we've got Brett Piles in studio today because there is breaking news, not breaking water lines, but there is breaking news
regarding the water.
Yeah, there is a broken problem, but we're going to get into it and talk about what's going on in Battletown because, you know, it's interesting how when you lose an infrastructure piece, as simple as this one is, how quickly people will get in a stir.
Well, yes, go ahead.
And it makes me think about how drastic will it be if we lost all water, all power, and there's no fuel.
Right.
My Lord, what would happen? And the internet is gone.
Oh,
that would be worse.
We don't want to talk about that. You're bringing in all the...
But we just had this one small problem. Let's get into it.
Well, it feels like a small problem for where we're sitting at right now.
That's right.
Because we're not living in Battletown, Kentucky.
That's right.
So the people in Battletown are rightly so upset because they don't have any water.
That's right.
So for years, and we can't determine, so if anybody knows the timeline, first of all, I want to know, how was it even possible for a private citizen to take over the water and to be in charge of selling water himself? I have so many questions about that. Was that water regulated? Were people drinking safe water? You know, shouldn't water be in compliance with the safety regulations that are, federally mandated?
Yeah.
Even if it's on private property. I'm confused at how that even happened. So if anybody knows, please call in at 270-422-2155. And if anybody knows the timeline of that, we'd like to know.
Yep.
So we've got...
Now, we are taking calls during the show. Oops,
Yes,
sorry.
we are.
We're not going to go live with those calls, but you can call Ariana at the front desk, and you can send her your question. She'll text it into us during the show.
And we'll try to get
and
to
we'll
that.
try to get to that question.
Because we want to answer your questions.
Yeah.
So Brett's here, and we're going to talk about a little bit like what led up to this, and then we're going to talk about what's going to happen, what a timeline is.
Right.
So, Brett, when's the first time that it got to your attention that people were being stirred up about this and were pretty upset?
It was brought up by one of our employees that showed me a Facebook post.
Is that recently?
No, actually the first one I think was a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, that's not our bailiwick. Water District has nothing to do with that, so I was kind of with my hands tied. What can I do?
Exactly. Well, somebody commented on our Messenger Facebook page about this, and they made the comment, well, it's not complicated. No one cares about this end of the county, which...
That's not true.
I do not believe that.
No, I think Trey Webb does a great job as a magistrate trying to ensure that that side of the county is being taken care of. I mean, I've seen all of the magistrates working diligently with the judge executive's office to try to resolve issues. I think they're about to start their round robin again, which is like unheard of, where they do town halls for the meetings monthly, but I don't think that that's a problem that anyone control. I think what's interesting, though, is that it's a problem that's always been there, but it just raised its ugly head because it was privatized.
Well, my understanding, it's always been private.
Yeah, I think it has been. When I was a child and I lived in Battletown, we went and picked up water. We had those huge, big water tanks on the back of the trucks, and we'd go and get it from Buttermilk Falls. And we take it back and put it in a cistern, and that's how we had water. And so that's the way we did it. That was commonplace back then, and this was in the 70s that I am personally familiar with that happening. So then I was away from Meade County for a number of years, so I don't know how this changed.
Well, I get the idea that you can own mineral rights, own a well, good servicing well, and stuff like that. But it's like our farmers, right? The farmers have all this land, they've been farming for decades, and then their children don't want to run it anymore. And so they auction it off, and it comes off into pieces, and then they sell it apart. Well, I think what you got here is a well that belongs to a family that's long time been running this well and charging people and everything else, and now they just don't want to do it anymore.
Well, I don't. I don't think it's as simple as they just don't want to do it anymore. It sounds to me that somebody broke into the money box. So it sounds, so from what I can piece together.
Well, for
and
whatever reason, they don't
Right.
want to do it anymore. It's off. It's shut off.
they're unable to do it anymore, I think is another way to say that.
Right.
You know, it's not like they just said, oh, we're going to quit doing this and just stopped. I think there were circumstances that led up to them not being able to do it. And before we really get into a whole lot of this, one thing I am curious about, someone posted and someone made the comment that their water tastes like bleach water and it's got a strong smell of bleach. That's not my experience where I live. And is it your experience?
No,
No.
not at all.
So are there certain areas of the county that would?
No, and frankly, is that in the city or the county?
Yeah, she said it was county water.
Well,
And so, but.
It depends. I know that when they break a line, right? If you break a line and then they have to patch the line, you're not supposed to drink the water because the water doesn't have any
boil
pressure.
water, yeah.
And
Well,
usually you got to boil it, but
well, it's an advisory.
Right, it's an advisory.
It's because we don't know what the condition of the water
Right.
is until we take samples and get the
That's right.
bacteriological
Well,
tests
and
back.
one thing I was thinking, and again, I could be so out of line here, but what if it's somebody that goes and gets water and then they treat it? You know, treat it with like maybe little tablets or something with that, you know. So who knows?
Yeah.
But it's not anything that the Meade County.
yeah, because I don't.
District is.
Y'all don't treat with chlorine, do you? It's a different. It's
It-
not
it-
chlorine. It's a
It's called chloramine.
yeah, chloramine.
And,
That's
and
it.
what you do is you treat it with chlorine, just like normal water.
Right.
But then before it goes out of the distribution system, you hit it with the proper dose of ammonia.
Right.
And it forms a monochloramine,
Right.
Right.
which is what you want. And now monochloramine, it is actually a weaker disinfectant than just chlorine,
Right.
but it lasts longer out into the system.
I see.
By the time our water gets from where we purchase it and it gets all the way to the end of our system in Wolf Creek, it's 23 days old. That water.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
because you got to turn on the valve to move the water through the line.
So we get questions all the time. I saw a hydrant running. Why is a hydrant running? Y'all are just wasting water.
Yeah.
Well, we have to keep that water turned over.
Yeah.
We have to keep it fresh
Yes.
so it keeps the disinfectant up
Yeah.
so it doesn't make people
Well,
sick.
that was a conversation I think we had at town hall not too long ago, and they were talking about why do we need to put fluoride? You know, it costs millions of dollars to put fluoride in the water, and then you got to run the water and waste
Yeah.
all the fluoride that you
Right.
spend money on.
I am one of those that I'm either or on the fluoride
Yeah.
issue. I
Buy toothpaste.
I wouldn't do it. That's
Yeah.
right.
Buy
Right.
toothpaste.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right. Because it's topical. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not where it doesn't. There's no study to show
Yeah.
that it helps your teeth if you ingest it.
Okay, I'm angry. I'm in Battletown.
Yep.
I need water. I don't want to have to drive 50 miles to go get a water. What? Why do I have to do this
And, you know,
now?
and
All of a
this is
sudden,
what
how
they-
do I?
and
How
this
do
is
I?
How they feel.
Yeah.
This is what they're saying.
This is
Absolutely.
wrong. What do I do? You're the water guy. Why don't we have a solution in place? And I apologize, my voice is gone this week. We've both been back and forth on the voice. I sound like I'm going through puberty
I
again
know.
or something. But
We both are squeaky and we're walking
Yeah.
around like we're in charge.
the pollen level's up. But Brett, solve my problem. I need water. You're the water guy.
Sure, I can do that. And the best thing that I could tell the folks out there, and that's one of the reasons I do this, is I want to get the word out, is that we currently have a project to where we're going to build a new pump station for the Painville tank.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with Goodwrench is,
Yep.
on Painville Road,
Yeah.
we bought a half acre right there.
All
That's
right.
where the pump station's going to be, and that pump station is going to have a vending machine in it.
Okay.
So we're gonna close down the one on Ginn Road and move it out to Painville.
Okay.
I know that's not all the way to Battletown.
Yeah.
I understand that, but we will have
It's a solution.
Yeah.
It is a solution. We'll have a vending machine there. All, you know, and we make no money on the vending machine. Please
Sure.
understand
Of course.
that.
Yeah.
is
It
not-
helps defray the costs.
It really doesn't. It just pays for the water
Yeah,
that we
that's
have
what I
to
mean.
purchase.
It's just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
an amenity.
That's
that you
right.
offer.
That's right. And it's just a service to the community.
That's like me giving out the newspaper. It doesn't really pay for the paper when you subscribe, but it does help.
That's right.
Right.
That's
But
right.
and you know, advertisers are the reason why the paper exists. Not just the subscribers, but the subscribers. All of you are absolutely important to the paper. But your subscription by no means covers the total cost of putting a paper out.
Absolutely.
But so the water, same.
But the water district has no subscribers,
Right.
so to speak,
Yeah.
and we definitely don't get advertising.
No, that's right.
revenue.
That's right.
So, and this project, we started working on, this is part of a bigger project. We're gonna upsize the line between our Flaherty tank and
Yeah.
our Garrett tank. It's gonna be 16 inch, and those tanks will be able to float up. And that bottleneck at 60 is what caused us to have that issue
I
two,
see.
2 years ago at Christmas.
Right. Oh yeah.
We couldn't get enough water through there because
Yeah.
demand went way up. So when that
and
demand,
that was a pleasant time for you, wasn't it?
I've been in worse. I'll tell you a good one that when I was over the utilities at Fort Knox,
Yeah.
contractor was doing a project and they plugged a manhole and they forgot and left it in there overnight. Well, guess what? It flooded the basement of quarters 1.
Oh, not a good day for General Davis, or
No.
was that
So,
when General Evans was there, or Davis?
I think
Probably General Evans.
it was back around 2000.
Oh, that would have been a while back.
6,
Okay, never mind.
7,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Makes
But
sense.
anyway, that general had a just a beautiful and expensive Persian rug he brought back from Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we did what we made everything right through our,
Yeah.
through our insurance, through the contractor's insurance company. But yes,
Wow.
I've been through a few furnaces here and there.
So why don't you just run lines to all the houses in Battletown and Painville? Why don't we just put county lines in and connect all the houses so they don't have to go to a well? Why don't we just do that?
I would absolutely love that.
Okay.
That would be great. I'd love to put it in every road in Meade County that doesn't have water. I would absolutely love that.
So
But when you're talking $50 to $70 per foot, that adds up to some dollars pretty
Yeah.
quick. And
Not
I'm
bad.
talking millions of dollars. And the thing is that the water districts in Kentucky are regulated by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Okay.
And they only let us operate on what's called cost-based rates. In other words, what it costs us to get that water to you is all we can recover. We can't recover the payment for that water line. We can't recover for the water meter. That's why we charge separate for water meters. And we lose money on the water meters right now.
Well, who
And-
pays for this to be done? Is it the county or is it the water department?
It's the water department. It's our responsibility. Now, who pays for it is usually, water districts have two sources to do projects. One is grant money from state or federal. The other is we borrow it. We're debt mules. Water
Yeah.
districts are debt mules. And that's what we're having,
So-
we're having to borrow 7.6 million for this project I was talking about.
for the pump and
Yeah.
and the tank.
Pumps, new line, that pump station at Painville,
Yeah.
we got to paint both
Okay.
tanks.
So when people are,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well,
I think we're gonna ask the same question. Go ahead.
So when people are fussing to Judge Executive Troy Koch, or they're fussing at the magistrate Trey Webb, they're fussing at the wrong people.
That's right, they need to come to me.
Okay.
Come see me, I will figure out as best I can how to do the project.
All right.
It's difficult in this climate, in this day and age, to come up with the funding.
I got it, but that doesn't give me water today, and I need water. How many homes need to go pick up water?
Yeah.
What will this vending experience be like, and what's the timeline? I can't wait for 5 years to see this in place.
The timeline is I expect to have that project completed with that new pump station and vending machine by the end of next year.
End of next year.
And here's the problem.
Well, that's a long time. You can only live 7 days without water.
We have been working with the Rural Development,
Okay.
USDA,
Yeah.
since August of 2024.
Okay.
And we are just now getting to the point to where we're within a month or two of putting the project out to bid.
Perfect.
We started design and everything
Yeah.
right after that incident we had at Christmas.
Yes.
23,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, or 22.
Yeah, I know-
Time flies
It's
by.
either 22 or 26.
Yeah, I remember the discussions we've had on the show before where you've come on, and it's not like you can just snap your fingers and everybody. It's the bureaucracy of all the steps that have to be met. And to your point, Earlene, the clean water standards and making sure that they meet the cut for EPA requirements and everything else, and that you're not destroying the land that you're digging in, because everything that gets ruined, because it could also be an archaeological factor. If they start digging a line and they find some old homestead or a body that was buried by an Indian tribe or something like that, then they breaks it. You know, so all of those things that people don't think about come into play into
It's not just open up a ditch, lay the
That's
line
right.
in it and go.
That's right.
When people are like this, Stephen's done a great job of sharing with us the frustration that people are feeling.
Sure.
Because they don't have any water, and so people are watching this right now, and they're like, "Did he just say the end of next year? Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Did he just say the end of 2026? I'm not gonna." Well, so is there only alternative to continue to haul water in?
It is for now, yeah.
And where do they have to go to get this water right now? Can they go right here to Brandenburg and get it, or
Absolutely. They can go to Ginn Road
Okay.
out here and get it. We have a vending station there. Hardensburg has a vending machine or vending station
Okay.
similar at off Highway 79 at the Breck,
Now,
Meade
does
County.
every house have a cistern? I mean, how does this work for people who don't have the big water bottles?
Well,
the giant things?
Yeah, they'll have to have a cistern. If they're hauling water, that's
So if
what
they
they
don't
should
have one,
be
they
doing.
have to
Yeah.
get one?
I would think so.
So, a question came through on Facebook. Is there any plans to ever get water supply lines down to like Wolf Creek? I know we just mentioned it's very expensive. It's like $72 a line.
We have water lines at Wolf Creek.
Okay.
The problem is, though, is we have a 4-inch line. So if everybody and their brother started hooking on to it, that's when we'd have to start looking at upsizing that line.
Yeah, which is a bigger expense, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're talking $60, $70 a foot.
So that question came in from Destiny early. Destiny, I hope we answered that question for you today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a matter of the lines that are there, extending those lines to more houses. It will be too much volume for the existing main lines.
We'll be able to do select places, but yeah, it does hinder us.
But you need to call you to find out if that can happen or not.
Absolutely.
Definitely go and petition. I'd say your magistrate and everything else. They don't have any say in it, but they
Come
do.
see me.
Come see
Call
Brett.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night I was somewhere and someone was bringing it up and they were talking about it and they said, "Well, what? Where's all that money? Where's all that money that Meade County has? Well, I mean, we have money, and so what's the mayor doing with the money? You know, what's the police chief doing with the money? Why don't we have enough money to get water?
It's in the budget. So the water you don't pay. The county. The county helps where they can, as far as the county plan of where we're going to develop, build, so that the water company has an idea of, well, that's not going to be a very good plan because you don't have enough water sufficiency to make that a bill. Yeah, it's a collaborative. One does not help the other, and the other does not help the other without the comprehensive plan. But no one entity is in control of the other. So the money that the county has is for the county budget and or the distribution thereof to the cities in the county. So the physical county plan is a coordinating effort between your other utilities. It has no control over them. But if we said that we're gonna start developing this area of land, Brett's gonna come in and he's gonna say, that's great, but you've only got a 4-inch line, and if you're going to put 50 houses in there, you're going to need to put in, we're going to have to put in infrastructure, and you're at least 5 years out from that project because we still have the Painville project to finish in the next year and a half.
Right.
But if you start now, by the time you've been replaced in the next election, they may not want that same plan.
That's right.
And we've already started the motions, and who thought of that? You
And
know?
Stephen, just to be clear, I know because we have Meade County in our name.
Yeah.
Fiscal court, the judge appoints our board members. Fiscal court ratifies them.
That's right.
That's the only role that they play. We were established as all other water districts in the state of Kentucky under Chapter 74, and I know this gets a little bit wonky. I don't mean to.
Yeah.
But it's not just where you can go out here and do things willy-nilly. We have regulation, we have laws that we have to go by. And it just doesn't, again, we're not able to recover enough money to bank some to do little water line projects.
Well, and just, I'm glad,
Let's
Good.
Let me hit one more
let him
thing.
keep talking.
Last year, after our audit, we got it back, our net income was a negative $165,000.
Yep.
That means we were in the hole. And that is because our rates at most of last year was based on like 2017, 2018. I did a little internal study of our finances, and I was Doge before Doge was cool.
Right, I got it.
And,
And you did it with a pencil on a piece of paper.
yes, I did. And
Good for
and so I went in and checked all this out and looked at it, and our just during the from 2020 up to 2024, I got our 5 number 1 items that we buy as far as materials, and our 5 biggest expenses administratively. It went up 40%. So that's why we're sucking air on this, is because our expenses went up, our rates stayed pretty much the same. We got a couple of pass-throughs.
Yeah.
All that does is that gives us the ability to collect enough revenue to pay for the water that we're buying. We get no net income, no profit. We don't do profit.
Right.
Yeah, what I was going to cherry pick off of is it's not Brett making all the decisions. The board that is selected gets the review. Brett is like the chief executive to make sure everything's done. He does all the homework, puts everything together, but ultimately he answers to this board and presents the information, and the board decides, and they have the people's interests in mind. That's why they're appointed by the judge executive and the magistrates so that they can represent the sum of all the people. You can't make business decisions by having random people show up all the time. This committed board is dedicated to address the concerns that come from those magistrates so that they can decide on those plans and advancements.
All right, I'm going to stop both of you right now. So both of you are saying, well, this is why it happens, and this is blah, 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 and this person's in charge, and this person's not in charge. So these are people.
Yes.
These are human beings that are living out in Battletown.
That's
Yes.
right.
So let's say there's a 65, 70-year-old widow living out there by herself. We, as a community, as fellow Meade Countyans, she deserves our care.
Absolutely.
So before we start rattling off about whatever is the reason and explaining, well, it's not going to get done till the end of 2016.
Oh, I'm not talking about the reason.
Wait just a minute, let me finish. And then whatever is not going to get done till the end of 26 or whatever. This lady needs water now.
That's what we just said.
So who does she go to? What phone number?
That's
does
what
she
you just
call?
said.
She will need to find someone.
We didn't
that,
make it clear. I just want to
okay.
make it simply
Yeah,
clear.
and I agree. That's a good point that you made there, Earlene. And I'm sure there's folks out there, I don't have a list of them, but there are folks out there that haul water. That's
Right.
what they do.
Right.
They'll,
You're right.
for a small fee, or a fee, whatever. And they find that there are 2 places right now that they can get water, which I mentioned a minute ago, right off Highway 79 at the Meade County line.
That's right.
And on Ginn Road over here in Brandenburg. And unfortunately, that is the only 2 options we have right now.
Oh, I get that it's the
Yeah.
option. I just want to know how we're going to help some of these people. She didn't have a cistern. She didn't know where to put her water. She's scared. She's, stuck out here. She's lived in Battletown for 50 years. I just feel like and I'll just say it, I know we're on the air, but I feel like as a Christian, I feel like as a Meade Countyan, we have to take care of our own.
Absolutely.
We have to meet those needs. We can have all the reasons why, but when it comes right down to it, we have to figure out a way to help these people for the next 18 months.
Yes.
Right.
Nobody's not saying that, for sure.
Yeah.
But how do we get to that? Brett can't solve all of those problems, so I definitely recommend churches get involved, your community get
that's a good
involved.
idea.
We don't necessarily have all the answers, but to the point, the people that haul water, if you're out there and you do this service, get in touch with us. We'll help make sure that people know that, and we'll get that up on our website. A question came in, was asked, let's assume that you get we're a year out from now, and we're finally under this new system that you have, so I don't have to drive really far to those new locations. How does that work? What am I walk in and I put money in a machine and it spits water out?
Pretty much, you'll pull around. The one we have now is like a quarter vending machine, like your old quarter Coke machines. Well, the new one, my intention is to do away with the cash part of that, and it's just you scan your debit or credit card and punch in how many gallons you want, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever, and then you get all the water you want, and we sell it really cheap. We make $0 on that.
Right.
So, has anybody called the current owner of the well and asked if they want to sell it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Why can't we just buy it up and somebody else buy the rights and take it over, put a new coin machine in until that time? Why can't we just buy that as an asset?
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
I have no
way we don't know who the individual is.
I guess we could go down to the PVA office and find out where that's at and see who owns it.
Well, somebody knows, and I wish they would just...
Well, whoever owns the land, they may not own the mineral rights, but they'll know because it's on their land who owns the mineral rights.
Well, it's right there in the middle of Battletown, right behind Hoffman's.
Yeah, the thing in Kentucky is that water rights are not a big thing. They're not a thing. Now, you go west of the Mississippi, water rights are hugely important.
California?
Oh, yeah. Colorado, California, some of those. You actually can go on the internet and buy water rights.
Yeah.
I mean, if Stephen wanted to get on and find that, he could buy so much water rights for so many hectares of water and blah, blah, blah. It's not that way east of the Mississippi. And it's because we have such a...
lush.
We do. We have so much resources here. We have everything we need.
Did you know that Kentucky has the third cleanest water in the United States of America?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, our water is so clean, and then when it rolls down these creeks and everything, you can just scoop it up and drink it.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Depends on where the dead deer is and dead otter is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, people were drinking it 100 years ago.
Well, and that's why their lifespan was 35, 45. Yeah, we're living longer. All right. If you need water, you're gonna go
to Ginn Road. We have a vending machine there, and then also Hardensburg has one on the county line on Highway 79.
I'm going to write this up into a story, and we're going to run it on the front page of next week's paper, and then we will also, Sean will transfer it onto Facebook. So this information will be out there. It will be available.
So, another question came up. No one cares about us at this end of the county. That is not true, because we are here and we are communicating this as quickly as we possibly can as an exclusive. Brett, we're glad to have you on the show.
Right.
What? You said call me. What's your number?
Absolutely. 270-422-5006.
Okay. So one more time.
270-422-5006. And my email is bpiles, BPYLES, at meadecountywater.com.
And I'll put
all
this
one word.
information in the story as well. And listen, he will answer.
Absolutely.
Because I called him before I was the editor of the paper. I called him because the Doe Valley folks were hopping mad.
Yep.
And he answered the phone. Well, somebody answered the phone, and I asked to speak to him, and he got right on. He didn't know me from Adam's house cat, and he talked to me just fine.
Adam's house cat. What about Eve's snake? Just kidding.
Well, the way
Ladies and gentlemen.
I know, this is where it goes south.
He just jumped the shark.
Well, we have to remember, everyone is our neighbor.
Yes.
And whatever we say on Facebook is not the person
It's
you meet face to face.
We get more...
People get frustrated.
They do.
I understand that 100%. Again, I've been doing this for 40 years.
Sure.
I've seen and heard most every story you can think of.
I think it's funny because we push the news. Like, we didn't write this. We didn't make this up. These are the facts. And we get more bad comments because of the news. Don't shoot the messenger. We just shared the news.
It was it was a thread from the Battletown Fire Department. And they were talking on, and finally somebody tagged me in it and said, "Can you do something about this?"
There you go.
And I was like, well, and that was Monday. And here we are on
Friday.
the air. But listen, this is what I want a takeaway from this. If you live in Meade County and you need help with anything, I mean, not even just the water, you need help with groceries, you need help getting your kids somewhere or whatever, we're going to take care of you. There are people in Meade County who will take care of you. We will drive 15 miles down the road to pick you up and take you to a doctor's appointment. We will help you get groceries. You know, again, we're going to take care of our own. If you live here and you need help with anything, just call up here, call Brett, whatever, it doesn't matter. We want to do this.
Absolutely. And I'd like to make one other point real quick. You mentioned our board and the physical court and all that. Our board is absolutely engaged in everything we do. If they're not, that's my fault because I didn't inform them. So they'll probably tell you, yeah, Brett gives us, way too much information, but I want them to have it. So if it does come up, if there's something to be said, and they stay engaged. They are concerned about not only what the water district, they're concerned about the community. We have several challenges at the water district over the next few years, and that's why we developed a 25-year CIP plan,
That's right.
which lays out what we know today. We review that annually and update it because certain situations change.
That's right.
And I'll say the same thing about fiscal court and Judge Coke. They are absolutely awesome to work with. They are great. They stay engaged. They show up at events. I'm telling you, I don't think people in Meade County realize just how good they have it with this fiscal court and judge. Because I'm telling you what, especially Troy, he will go out of his way to just make a phone call, ride somewhere to see something.
And he's
Troy
everywhere. He's involved in all the things.
Absolutely. Troy does a great job in my judgment. And believe it or not, Troy and I talk on a regular basis. Sometimes it might be 8 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And I got a call from Trey the other day. And
Yeah.
Trey, he's genuinely concerned.
Yeah.
I didn't read all the comments on Facebook. I'm sure some of them say, well, nobody cares about us. These folks care. Let me tell you. And just because you don't see it or hear it every single day.
And because we can't get it done in their timeline does not mean that we don't care about what's happening.
That's exactly right. And again, us, myself, the board, and fiscal court, Troy, have been working on this for over 2 years. We realize where the challenges are, and it just takes time.
Well, this goes back to, I remember him running for the campaign and the infrastructure being in place, and the plan looked great on paper, but no forward movement. And until all of that came together, this movement probably it wouldn't even be a year from now that you'd be seeing this. It would be probably much further if the engagement hadn't occurred.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's a great point to bring up. Well, listen, we're going to close this out for the day. I just want to get some final thoughts from you, Earlene, on what you want everybody to know.
Well, basically what we've said. I mean, I feel like Brett has shared his heart and his professionalism. He has spoken and said that it's not that we're ignoring anybody. Battletown is important to us. As a matter of fact, I don't know if people know this, but Sheriff Wimpy lives in Battletown. So he is one of the ones without water. So it's not like, oh, we don't care about you. I mean, here's our elected official, who is the sheriff of the entire county. He's right in there, with you. So make a phone call, let us know, keep talking, but also have a little bit of understanding that the people that are in charge of fixing this situation are actually working on it.
Yep. I think that's a great feedback. The other comment that I leave everybody with today is it's broke. They're trying to fix it.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately, it's been broke longer than just today. It's just finally raised its ugly head and revealed itself.
Yeah.
We brought up some great questions. Brett, thanks for being our guest today.
Thank you for
Thank you so much for taking this time.
It's always
Appreciate
nice
you
that we
guys.
get the source and ask the questions from the source, and it's not just us making it up and telling you what you needed to hear just so you'll stop making all that noise. No, you need to make noise. That's what gets us involved in making sure that we help resolve with all of the people that are involved. So thanks again, Brett, for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Earlene,
Appreciate
another
you all.
great time. Thank you, as always. I'm glad we could come together to get this wrapped up. So you guys enjoy. We will see you next week. I will actually be remote. We're going to try to come in.
And
Sean,
I'm going to have a guest.
you're going to have a guest.
Well, I'm going to have a co-host. Stephen Spahn is going to be my co-host.
That's
and
right.
he and I are having a guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Do you want to give a teaser? Who's the guest?
No,
Okay.
it's
well,
a surprise.
Come on. Well, you better tune in next week, Tuesday at 2, for All We Do. We'll talk to you soon, guys.